And it's done by the Heat 11U Black team from Ardsley, New York. They did a great job. And now you know the Yankee lineup that's going to face Logan Henderson in the final game of this 3-game set. Another big crowd here at American Family Field. Some kids on the field, and the players are signing autographs for them. Gary Sanchez behind the plate. So he just made a friend. He's got it in the Mother's Day gear. And I'll say this right up front before we get to the pitcher and the defense. If your mom's still around, go say hello, go say thank you, go say I love you. Of all the things she does for you every single day to make your day better and to make your life better, show her appreciation. Joe and I, unfortunately, our moms are not with us any longer. We wish we had the opportunity to say it.
Yeah, I would say it every day if I had the opportunity.
All right, so the Yankees going to try to salvage the final game of this 3-game set. Let's take a look at Logan Henderson, Joe.
You know, pretty good numbers. He's coming off a really good start against Washington. But let's check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report. 3 for 3. This is 3 days in a row they've had a starter that's only 24 years old starting for them. He's a little bit of change of pace. You're not going to see the hundreds that we've been seeing a lot of lately. He has a very good changeup, and over his 7 starts in the big leagues, hitters are 8 for 41, hitting only 195 with 1 extra base hit. And he's seizing the moment, Michael. He made 5 starts in the big leagues last year because of injury, a 1.7 ERA. He's made 2 this year, and his last start, 6 innings pitched, 2 runs, 8 Ks, 0 walks.
And he was called up last Sunday after Brandon Woodruff got hurt, so he pitched well in that loss to the Nationals. Take a look at the defense behind him. Brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers, Churio, Mitchell, and Perkins. That's left to right in the outfield. Rengifo, Ortiz, Turang, and Vaughn third to first. And Gary Sanchez behind the plate. William Contreras is the DH. And we'll take a look at Bryce Turang, a Car Shield defensive player profile. 31 defensive runs saved since 2024. And that leads Major League second baseman. He can pick it.
Yeah, they're really strong up at the middle. Joey Ortiz is a very good shortstop. Garrett Mitchell, a very good center fielder. There's a lot of defense on this club and a lot of speed.
Grisham's ready. Henderson's ready. And let's do it here in Milwaukee. First pitch, a strike. We're underway. Alex McKay is the home plate umpire. Trip Gibson at first. Alan Porter, the crew chief, at second. Roberto Ortiz is over at third.
Not so sure Trent liked that first pitch, Michael. Taking his time out already.
Grisham 0 for 4 in the series. Let's check out what Alex McKay's all about. The umpire scouting report brought to you by your local Kia dealers. He's neutral. Had 23 calls challenged, 10 overturned, more low strikes, fewer high strikes. Alex in his 7th big league season. Fouled straight back here and under our booth.
Michael, I expect you to at least make an effort for that.
You're the world champion.
Yeah, but I don't have a catcher's mitt and a mask.
Swing and a miss. Grisham down on strikes.
Yeah, that's his signature pitch, Michael. That changeup, it gets a lot of run. This one actually has more depth than it usually does, but you're going to see it almost like if, from the pitcher's perspective, take a right turn and dive towards the third base line.
Henderson was high school teammates with Spencer Arrighetti of the Astros, Chico Ranch High School in Katy, Texas. It was Ben Rice. Since being shelved with that bad hand, 0 for 9 with 4 strikeouts. And a strike.
You know, last year in his starts, he threw 89% either fastball and change. he's incorporated a slider and a cutter a lot more because he wants something going into the left-handers away from the right-handers. His fastball and change are going to go towards the third base line, and there's the slider. It's got really good sweep, and it just gives him a different look. He's throwing it about 25% of the time, both those pitches now. God, these guys get to play with those slow motion cameras and spin rates, and they get to continue to develop new pitches all the time.
Hammered foul. Let's take a look at his arsenal. Statcast 3D by Google Cloud.
Yeah, you're going to look see the 4 pitches that he really uses is the 4-seamer, changeup, cutter, and slider. He's increased how much he uses his cutter and slider, and the velocity is not overwhelming today.
Driven to right field. Perkins on the run, and he hauls it in for the second out.
Well, if you look at Blake Perkins' career, he's a +17 in outs above average in right field. Not an everyday player. One year had 10, and he's only been up for about 4 years, so he's an outstanding defender. Some think he might be their best defensive outfielder.
Here's Aaron Judge, 1 hit and 6 at bats in the first 2 games. Driven deep to right field. Perkins back on the track at the wall. See ya! Another first inning home run for Judge, and the Yankees jump up 1-0.
You know, that's a great way to start this game after losing the game in extra innings yesterday. A hard-fought, tough game. Give Carlos Rodon a run to work with. I mean, he was ready to hit from the first pitch, DHing today, and I love that because sometimes the first pitch is the best pitch you see during the at-bat, and he didn't miss it. Took the home run lead again.
Yes, he did. Number 16. Bellinger takes low.
You know, if we were back in college, Michael, we'd be harping on the pitcher, keep him in the stretch. He's in the stretch all the time. Here's the swing, a fastball middle in, and he pushes it to right field, and you can see Henderson. He knows it right away. He slaps his glove on his leg, and just a vintage swing from Aaron Judge. Think about the last 2 balls they've hit, Michael. The one that Ben Rice hit, the one that Aaron Judge hits. 2 rockets, and there hasn't been a lot of hits in the last 2 days.
In his 18th game against Milwaukee, that's the 10th home run Judge has hit, and he has 22 runs batted in and 19 runs scored. And there's ball 4. Bellinger works a 2-out walk.
His 25th walk of the season. He was 17th in Major League Baseball with 24 going into today. The Yankees have 4 guys in the top 21.
Jazz Chisholm takes a strike.
Gary Sanchez still has a very good arm. I know that Henderson's somewhat slow to the plate, but his pop time is way above league average. He's about 1.88 seconds. He's 1 for 2 and throwing out runners this year.
Like Jazz has something in his eye. Runner goes. Throw to second is high. 5th stolen base of the year for Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, he got a really good jump there on the pitcher. Gary Sanchez didn't have much of a chance, and it looked like he got somewhat distracted by the bat of Jazz Chisholm. Hesitated a high throw, and he's in there easily. This time his foot touched the bag, Michael. Yesterday he slid over the bag, and it was the reason he was out.
Popped up. Rengifo runs out of room. So he's tied with Schwarber now for the Major League lead and moves out of a tie for the American League lead with Munetaka Murakami of the White Sox.
Well, I think Schwarber has 2 today because I think he had 14 coming in today. He'd hit in 3 or 4 games in a row, so he's heating up.
Two and two. He checks a swing.
Yeah, we're going to see how far he went. No, that's definitely a check swing. I'm curious to see how that, I don't know what you want to call it, the check swing, what they're going to use in the minor leagues this year, how well it works out. The videotape of it.
Grounded, foul.
Ball boy down the first base line kind of dove to his knees to try to catch that. That can't feel too good.
Yeah, looks like he got scraped up.
Stay on your feet, young man. He's got his first baseman's mitt, Michael. He's got the biggest glove he can use.
Bellinger leads off second. And the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Chisholm down on strikes. But Aaron Judge does it again. A first inning monster. His 7th first inning home run of the year. 91st of his career. When it lands, the Yankees have a run, and Milwaukee's coming to bat.
Let's go places.
Yankees have a 1-0 lead on the Judge home run. Let's take a look at the Brewers starting lineup that will face Carlos Rodon, Chourio, Turang, and Contreras at the top of the order. Sanchez, Vaughn, and Rengifo, that's the middle. Center fielder Garrett Mitchell bats 7th. Blake Perkins in right will bat 8th. Batting 9th, playing shortstop, Joey Ortiz.
You see the good numbers from Carlos last year. 2nd in wins, tied for 2nd in wins, tied for 2nd in innings pitched, high strikeout total. But let's check out the Nissan pitcher scouting report today on Carlos. Business as usual. It's his first start of the year. All the other starters went somewhere around 75 or 80 pitches. That's what I expect to see for him. Sets up nicely for him when you look at the Milwaukee Brewers. They're 26th in slug on sliders and 28th in slug on changeups. Very good for Carlos. 2 years in a row. His first start of the season was against the Milwaukee Brewers.
Pitch outside. You know, when you look at the numbers that he put up last year, it's kind of amazing when you consider he said he literally could not comb his hair and he could not drink a glass of soda, water, juice, whatever, with his left hand. He couldn't bring it up to his mouth because there was just a restriction in the elbow. So they removed loose bodies and they shaved down a bone spur. But he was pitching like that all year. And the amazing thing, Joe, is part of the rehab was to learn how to pitch with an arm that didn't hurt.
Yeah.
Where there was actual extension.
Yeah, because his arm probably didn't extend fully.
Right.
And you might get more velocity from him this year. I mean, 96, 97, the first inning's pretty good. He averaged about 94 last year.
And Joe, that's just it. When I asked Carlos Rodon earlier this spring what he hopes that will help him with on the mound, and he looked at me and smiled and said, I hope I get more velocity out of that. That's what I'm looking for here. Topped out at 95 in his last rehab start, and you mentioned already above that here today.
Yeah, more velocity means more swing and misses on the high fastball and probably a better slider. And we know how good his slider was last year.
Two. And the count is full on Chourio. And he walked him. Take a look at the Yankee defense. Brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. It's Bellinger, Grisham, and Jones and Wright today with Judge the DH, McMahon, Caballero, Chisholm, and Rice, third to first. J.C. Escara gets start behind the plate. We've already seen Judge as the DH with Rodon on the mound. Rodon now faces Bryce Terang. And a bunt. Fielded by Rodon. And he fires to Rice. Moving to second is Chourio.
Carlos gets off the mound pretty quickly here and knows that he has time to set his feet and make a good throw. And Terang, who does not hit left-handers nearly as well as right-handers, with Contreras coming up and Sanchez coming up, he decided to bunt him over and try to get a run back. Now, the umpires had a lot of conversations already.
Yeah.
One with Jazz.
A
One with
couple
Chourio.
now with Rodon.
Yeah.
So here's Contreras, 3 for 8 in the series, and the game-winning sac fly last night in the 10th.
You know, we talked about Contreras since 2022. He's third in baseball's catchers in WAR. He's really durable, too. This is his 35th start in 38 games. Now, 5 of them have been as the DH. But he's played in 37 out of 38 games. Last year, he played in 150. The year before, 153. He plays a lot. Good changeup.
1-2.
That's a pitch that's really had to develop for him. I mean, he was predominantly with San Francisco four-seamer and slider. He's really evolved into having a lot of different pitches to go to. I almost feel like sons are trying to get more TV time for their moms today.
It's working. The old inside move. Check out the league leaders, brought to you by your local Tri-State Buick dealers. Rodon, opponent's average against first in the American League last year. Wins second, innings second, strikeouts tied for fourth. Swing and a miss, got him. And Contreras down on strikes, 2 away.
Yeah, he was tied with innings with Max Free. This is a really good slider. Most of his sliders he've tried the back door. This one is a signature pitch that's somewhat down and in. It doesn't get probably in as much as he likes. But the scouting report is Contreras probably will chase below the zone, not necessarily in, and that's what he got him to do.
Here's Gary Sanchez batting in the cleanup spot. And a strike.
So far off of lefties, he's been 6 for 15, which is 400 on fastballs, 1 for 10 on everything else, and that's why he got that first pitch slider.
One and one. And that's going to be challenged by Escara.
The catcher's challenging.
Well, his zone is more low, not high. We'll see. It's a strike. Yep.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. So the challenge successful by Escara.
Boy, that's really pink, isn't it?
Really is.
Wow.
Swing and a miss on the tip, and it's caught by Escara, and that'll do it. Chourio is stranded at second. Yankees lead 1-0 after 1. Ryan McMahon will lead off, and we'll check out one of today's player props brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. Ryan McMahon to hit 1 or more home runs is plus 375. McMahon, Caballero, and Spencer Jones against Logan Henderson.
His turnaround has been extremely impressive. And you talk about it, and we saw him get the hit off the tough left-hander last night on a breaking ball that started at him off of Ashby. I mean, the Yankees didn't do much off of Ashby, and he stayed in there and hit the go-ahead single in the 10th, but it didn't hold up.
1-0. Last 8 games for McMahon, 10 hits and 25 at-bats, 3 double, a home run, and 6 runs batted in. First 22 games he was hitting 125. Last 16, 327.
And it's all because he's backed the ball up and stayed behind it. Something they've been working on, you know, since last year in the offseason. And he's moved his contact point back about 4 inches, Michael, and it's made a huge difference.
Greg Joyce had a real good story in the New York Post where, you know, he's sitting watching video on an iPad, middle of the clubhouse, and he's just at wit's end to what do. And then Aaron Judge walks by and goes, "Judgy, what do you see?" And he looked at the video with him. He said, "Let's go to the cage." And Judge and Goldschmidt worked with him about letting the ball travel, hitting it deeper this way. You keep a flatter swing. Your batter's in the strike zone longer, and he's turned things around since that little discussion.
It's truly amazing. I mean, Ashby was filthy. This guy's throwing a 99-mile-an-hour sinker with a really good curveball and a really good slider, and it's a 2-strike hit, and he stays in here. And you're right, Michael. His transition has been fantastic, and it's powerful when it comes from your teammates.
I was just going to say that, you know, coaches and managers could say things, but if it's one of you, and it's Aaron Judge and Goldschmidt, 2 guys with so much experience, and Judge said, "I don't mind. I love hitting." He said, "I love to talk hitting," and he was glad he could help.
Yeah, it's Bregman does it a lot wherever he's at, whether it's been in Houston, Boston, Chicago now. I mean, it's a huge effect on the players, and when you have veterans that are willing to share information, it's so powerful. I'm sure the amount of information that Spencer Jones is going to learn while he's up here is going to be incredible. Michael, I know the at-bat's not over, and we don't know what the results are going to be. But you think about, he's fouled off 3 2-strike pitches. He wouldn't have done that 3 weeks ago. But I always feel like what you're searching for a hitter is time, because the ball gets on you so quickly. So the later you hit it, the more time you have. He lets it get deeper. He's got more time.
One, 2. Driven deep to right field, but it is foul.
Yeah, he's been able to foul off his heater, and he almost took his changeup deep. So he said, I got to try something else. He's trying to speed him up to get him out with that changeup, with the fastball in and the cutter in. He doesn't have the horizontal movement that he usually has arm side with his changeup so far today.
Looped into left field, going back Rengifo, and he makes a really nice play. Take a base hit away from McMahon.
Wow, that's a really good play. I didn't think he had a chance for this ball when it was hit. The angle that he's at probably made it a little bit easier that he's playing towards shortstop, but it was longer to run, but he gets to it pretty easily.
Here's Caballero. 2 for 6 in the series.
Do you think in a scouting meeting they talk about what Caballero does hitting, so you don't get like you're having to start over all the time where he looks down? Don't really start until he makes eye contact with you?
They should.
Yeah. I mean, usually you talk about swings, what they hit, what they don't hit. Do they run? Do they bunt? You know, are they more aggressive with runners in scoring position? Which breaking balls do they hit? You got to talk about his stance.
Look into his eyes. Deep to center field. Mitchell back, still back. It's going to be over his head and up against the wall. And Caballero at second with a double.
The Yankee at bats have been really, really good today. You get the long at bat by McMahon, you get the double here, the home run by Judge, the walk by Bellinger, the line out by Rice. I mean, he smokes this ball. It's a hanging breaking ball, and a lot of times he'll pull that hanging breaking ball down to the left field corner. He went to the big part of the ballpark, Mike, for a double.
So here's Spencer Jones. 0 for 5. Struck out 4 times, looking for his first big league hit. And there it is, a base hit to center field. Caballero rounds third. He's coming home, and he will make it. It's an RBI single for Spencer Jones. His family loves it, and the Yankees are up 2-0.
Well, you don't have to wait anymore, and it doesn't get any better than an RBI single for Spencer Jones. Obviously, with your first hit, you want to be productive. He waits on this little breaking ball from Henderson and drives it up the middle. Just a really, really good swing. Watch the reaction of his parents. The wait is over. And Michael, they added somebody. Maybe that was the key. There were only 3 the last couple days. Mitchell doesn't do a very good job of charging that, and his throw was offline. Caballero's able to score.
Escara takes a strike. Jones a big guy, but he can run. He can steal bases.
Is that what they said about you?
No. No, they never said that about me. Shallow fly ball left field. And Ortiz goes a long way to make the play. Out number 2. Well, she's had a happy Mother's Day already. That's Spencer's mom.
There were a lot more smiles in those first couple rows tonight.
Just got back.
Yeah, he started to go a little bit there, Michael. A lot of times you don't mind running in this situation, especially if you get to 2 strikes. You got the leadoff hitter. He could start the next inning if you get thrown out.
Ground ball, and it hits Jones. So that'll be an out. It'll be a base hit for Grisham, but it's an out. End of the inning. Spencer Jones gave Mom Lee a Mother's Day gift of an RBI single. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Hyundai. Hyundai gives you America's best warranty on every new vehicle. Visit Hyundai.com for more information. By the New York Lottery, this could be your lucky play. And by Nissan, hop into a Nissan Rogue and hit the road to adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com.
Keep Bernie up there, Michael. Only slides down on a home run.
(1-0) to Vaughn. Deep foul ball. Take one more look at hit number 1.
Gets foot down early, Michael. He's waiting for that breaking ball, and he just smokes it up the middle. And what I see is he cut down on his swing a little bit. His swings the last few days have been somewhat big, and I'm sure a lot of that has to do with adrenaline and trying to do too much. He actually hit to the situation, and most of his at-bats have not been with runners on base because the Yankees haven't had a lot of hits. He hit to the situation, which is a really good sign.
2-2 on Vaughn. Andrew 1 for 3 in the first 2 games. Good velocity for Rodon's four-seamer, 97. So in his final rehab assignment, he threw 83 pitches. And they don't count it pitch to pitch when you get up here. So it's not like he would advance 10 more pitches to 93, 95. They'll probably stop him today, Joe, at about 85.
And I think they'll stop him before that, Michael. I really do. Just because he's coming off that injury, and I think Max is the only one that went over 85 the first time.
And there's a walk to Vaughn. That's the second walk issued by Rodon.
I would say the 4 starters, when you look at Weathers and Will Warren, they probably averaged about 77 pitches. It's probably what Carlos will be at. Boy, you'd love to get him through 5 innings. That would be awesome.
He's at 24 right now. Here's Rengifo. One and 0. They've had 2 big crowds here last night and Friday night. This looks like the biggest crowd of all.
They had 38,000 Friday night. What'd they have last night?
About 35 last night.
This one, like, the upper deck is full for the most part.
Mother's Day matinee. 1-1. One and 2. Foul back.
He is not hitting for a high average when you look at Rengifo, but he is a tough out. He's only struck out 13 times this year. He's walked 11. He doesn't walk a lot, but he doesn't strike out a lot. He finds a way to put the ball in play like so many of these Brewer hitters. But they got him there.
3 strikeouts for Rodon.
All 3 of them on that signature slider that he's had over the years. And this one gets below the zone and he gets a chase. And they've all been on chases.
Here's Mitchell. He has struck out in 8 straight games. And he has a 36% strikeout to plate appearance ratio, 3rd in the majors.
Did you see his spring training numbers?
Mm-mm.
Hit under 100, struck out 20 of 37 at bats.
Ooh.
And I mean, when you look at a player, he's everything that you want in a player. He's athletic. He plays good defense. He's got elite bat speed. But contact has been a problem. High fastballs have been a problem for him.
One and two.
But like this is the kind of guy that you get nervous every time he comes to the plate, and you look at his numbers and say, really?
Two and two. Swing and a miss. 4th strikeout for Rodon.
And to me, it almost looks like he's guessing, Michael. And I think that's why he might have some problems, because he's way late on that fastball. And he took the slider before that you would have thought that maybe he would swing at, and he just took it like he knew it was coming. Most hitters like to sit fastball and adjust to everything else.
Blake Perkins with a foul ball.
And Joe, Carlos Rodon was talking yesterday about this offense. He made the comment they put the ball in play. He called them dynamic, saying they're not going to hurt you often with slug, although they do have some guys like Gary Sanchez that can do that. But their game is the fact that they put it in play. It's a fun brand of baseball that not everyone plays throughout this league. You know you can't make mistakes, as Jazz Chisholm makes the final out. Carlos Rodon now through 2.
Here are the featured home run odds for today's players. Chisholm plus 500, Grisham plus 600. And Rice rips one foul.
You know, we saw Trent and Spencer kind of hamming it up a little. That's his new best friend. You know, if you're the manager, you ask Spencer, you know, what were you thinking there? And if you're Spencer, the answer is, oh, I was just thinking of my teammate. I knew he was going to be out, so I wanted to get him a base hit.
That's right. So
yeah,
it's still out.
Teammate.
And
Yeah.
you got to hit. Otherwise, it would have been a 4-3.
Keep doing that for me, kid. I like that. You know, we said that Trent's luck was starting to change last week, as he has more outs over 95 than anyone in the American League. He got that little bloop hit, the little pop up to the shortstop. The Sun got it. He got a hit. Now this one.
And that one was not high exit velocity. Still got a hit.
Yeah.
Little ground ball.
Little ground ball. Didn't O'Neill say that he did that once on purpose?
I vaguely recall.
Yeah. That's some really good thinking.
Sky the other way. Churio on the run. And he runs out of room. Brandon Lockridge, who got hurt on Friday, actually was roommates with Ben Rice in 2024 when they both played for Scranton Wilkes-Barre in AAA. Check swing, ground ball. It's Pat Murphy, 2-time running National League Manager of the Year. Again, the other way and out of play.
They've done a really good job of making Henderson work. You know, this is a guy that was averaging less than 14 pitches per inning, and he is well over that today.
High fly ball center field. Mitchell puts it away. One away. Time for the Optimum Fiber famously fast replay. We go back to the first inning, Joe.
Well, this was really fast. They got out of here quickly, and it was the first pitch to Aaron Judge, and it put him up 1-0. It didn't take him long to hit another home run against the Milwaukee Brewers, and another first inning home run.
Seven first inning home runs out of his 16.
And he didn't really have any about the first 15 games, did he? And he had so many last year. He didn't hit any early on in the year.
I don't know if it was a 0. I think he had a couple.
He's really picked up the pace.
One and two.
You know, that's an amazing statistic they just put up there. Tied for 18th in first inning home runs. I could see it if the number was like 40, but the number was in the 90s.
Yeah, he's 92.
I mean, you got to hit a lot of home runs to hit 90 in the first inning.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Judge was trying to sell that he did, looking down at the ground. But Tripp Gibson said, no, you went around.
And we'll get a better look here if he went around. Oh, yeah, he went around. It almost looked like he started walking back to the dugout. And,
yeah.
When the umpire didn't go, oh, let me stay, and just kind of act like I didn't swing.
Here's Bellinger. Walked in the first. 1-0. Last 11 games for Bellinger. 17 hits and 42 at-bats. 405 with 11 extra base hits. Way up there near the roof. Ortiz calls everybody off, makes the play, and the Yankees go down in order 1-2-3. We'll go to the bottom of the third. 2-0 Bombers.
Welcome back to American Family Field as Carlos Rodon is back on the mound. I asked Aaron Boone about him earlier today and what he was expecting his first time out, and Aaron Boone just smiled and said a Carlos Rodon-like performance, which has been a ton of excellence over the last couple of years. Boone went on to say the thing that's been most impressive about Rodon, not just last season, but the last several, has been what he called his pitchability. When he first came here, he was known as a power fastball slider guy. Since then, he's been using his two-seamer more, not to mention he's added a changeup this year, incorporating a curveball a little bit as well. Boone said it is so important as you get older and age in this league to be able to adapt, and Carlos Rodon has done a tremendous job in doing that. And Michael, one thing that he leaned on during the rehab process is his experience, saying you want to be out there right away, you want to get back as soon as possible, but you need to be patient, and patience is the hardest thing when you're trying to get back to where you want to be.
Grounded and sharply, and McMahon plays it to the glove side and fires to Rice. Good play by McMahon on the Joey Ortiz ground ball. I think the Yankees' pitching excellence, Joe, has allowed them to be patient with Rodon and, in turn, with Garrett Cole. There's no need to rush them.
Guys have really stepped up. The early schedule where they used a 4-man rotation. Yeah, and that's the right thing to do because you want him over the long haul. You don't want setbacks because usually when you have a setback, you double the time that a guy sits out. And that's being really smart on the Yankees' part. And Carlos, I bet when he was young, he wouldn't have been able to be as patient, but now he understands.
You know, Carlos' first year with the Yankees after signing a free agent deal was not good. And then it ended badly, too, in Kansas City, where he kind of turned his back on Matt Blake, who came out to talk with him on the mound. Ground ball, shortstop, backhanded by Caballero. And then there had to be questions, Joe. Is he built for this? Is he built for New York? I'll tell you what, man. He took it on, and he's been great for New York. Last couple of years, he's been outstanding, a dependable starter, taking the ball. Last year, he would not go on the IL, despite not being able to straighten his arm out because he knew the team needed him. He's been a great player for the New York Yankees. He really has.
Well, you think about the couple of years before he came to New York, he was extremely dominant. And you go through a year, you're like, what is going on? A new pitching coach, and everything was new to him, and it was hard for him to adjust. But boy, has he made the adjustment since then. And I give him a lot of credit because he tackled it head on, faced the music, and just went and got better.
I've seen a lot of free agents come here struggle in the first year, and you could almost write it off. Well,
yes,
not going to happen. He didn't do that. He said, I'm going to make it happen, and has become a respected member of that clubhouse.
And you think about, like, when you're a starting pitcher, and I say this about Roger Clemens, like when he first came over, he had always been the ace of a staff, and he wasn't quite sure, am I the ace or am I, you know, what I am? And we're like, Roger, you're always the ace. You know, it took him time to adjust to being in New York, his new teammates, you know, a bitter rival. It's not easy.
Well, that's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Rodon as he retires. Milwaukee in order, and we'll go to the fourth. '26 stream MLB Network 24/7 and select out-of-market games every week, plus live radio broadcasts of every game, game day 3D, big inning, and minor league action. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today. Hey.
I like that,
the
Mike.
Fonz. Great Henry Winkler. Happy Days was here in Milwaukee. So was Laverne and Shirley. Jazz Chisholm fouls it away as we start the fourth inning. Jazz 1 for 8 in the series so far. He struck out in the first inning. Way up there. Turang will make the play in foul territory, 1 down.
He's had a number of pop-ups to the infielders today, and he does not get many ground balls, only about 28% this year. He's a severe fly ball pitcher, probably because of that changeup and people being out in front of it.
There's Ryan McMahon. 10 pitch at bat in the second inning. And he looped one to shallow left. Nice running play by Rengifo. So Ryan is 0 for 1. Driven to right field. Perkins is there. Here's Jose Caballero, doubled over the head of Mitchell in center. That was in the second. Came around and scored on Spencer Jones' first big league hit. When you were playing, Joe, did they have the pink bats at that time for Mother's Day?
They did.
Did you use them?
Yes, I did. Of course I did. A lot of guys, if they get hot with them, sometimes they want to keep using them.
You're not allowed?
No, I think you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Judge might keep his.
You can see with a lot of the Yankee hitters, their mind is on the changeup because they've been late on a number of fastballs and they've had a number of balls hard. Their plan has been really good today off of Logan Henderson.
The 0-2. Yankees lead 2-0. Lost the first game 6-0. Last night 4-3 in 10 innings. Caballero's first start in the big leagues with Seattle against the Brewers in April of 2023. Ground ball, third base, Rengifo. And a 1-2-3 inning for Henderson, who's retired 6 in a row. Report brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Ryan Weathers scratched from the start Thursday, viral infection. He is scheduled to start tomorrow in Baltimore against the Orioles. Pitch was way up there. Tri-State Cadillac scoreboard, 2-0 Yankees, bottom of the fourth.
He's just making sure he's keeping JC loose.
He just got him loose.
Out.
Yeah. Two 2-0. Contreras struck out in the first inning. Milwaukee has won 8 of its last 11 games. Since the beginning of 2024, Milwaukee has a winning percentage of .588. Only 2 teams are better, the Dodgers and the Yanks. And this is a small market team, doesn't have a big payroll. They've averaged 92 wins out of 162 games since 2018. That's the 5th best in baseball. Dodgers, Yankees, Astros, and the Braves are ahead of them. Contreras walks to start the fourth.
Interesting. Every walk so far has been a leadoff walk.
Yep.
His 3rd walk of the game. 3 of the 4 innings.
Pitch to Sanchez is high.
I think they should probably try to throw something else. It's 5 fastballs in a row that he's thrown for a ball. Try something else. Get him back to his mechanics.
Missed with the slider. 2-2. Or 2-0, I'm sorry.
Pitch called strike. The batter is challenging.
Gary Sanchez going to challenge.
Call's overturned. Milwaukee has 2 challenges remaining.
You know, it appeared like he went to the bill of his cap. You're supposed to touch the top of your cap, and I think that's why the home plate umpire didn't see him.
And there's ball 4. So 2 straight walks, 4 walks now for Rodon.
Next hitter, Andrew Vaughn is kind of the poster child for change of scenery being a good thing. Last year with the White Sox, before he got traded, he was hitting 189 With Milwaukee, he hit .308 with 9 homers and 46 RBIs and only 221 at bats, and he killed lefties last year. He hit .339 against them, so dangerous spot for Carlos Rodon.
So Matt Blake talks it over with Rodon, heads back to the dugout. And Milwaukee threatening first and second, nobody out, bottom of the fourth. Yankees up 2-0. .54 pitches for Rodon.
Three ground ball outs last inning. He had a 6-3, a 5-3, and a 4-3. He could use one of those right now, a little ground ball double play.
Vaughn walked in the second inning. And a strike. And Vaughn gets plunked, and that loads the bases.
Four-seamer that just gets away from him inside. He hits him in the back of his left arm. Above the pad, missed the pad completely. Really pretty good bruise right there. I think he was probably trying to set up the changeup, trying to speed him up a little bit. And it just got away from him.
Yankees playing back for the double play. Here's Rengifo. And a strike. Dropped the changeup in there. McMahon's going to come home, gets one, that's all they'll get. Wasn't the best throw, but picked by Ascara, a little stretch. Took away any chance of a double play, and you could see McMahon pointed to Ascara as good play.
Yeah, you got a strikeout candidate up next in Garrett Mitchell, so this may end up working out okay. I'm not so sure if he goes to second that he's going to turn the double play. I think he has a decent chance. But he chooses to go home. It's a split-second decision. Nice stretch by Ascara, the proper thing to do.
And a strike to Mitchell. He struck out in the second. Bases loaded, now 1 out. Foul back.
Yeah, he actually struck him out with a two-seamer away after Mitchell took the slider like he knew what was coming. So he went hard down and away.
Nice stab there by Ascara.
Ascara's probably telling him, I'm loose. That'll stretch out that rib cage on the left side. You know, he's looked at his fingers a number of times today. I wonder if it's, you know, it's not really warm today. It's kind of dry out.
In the center field, Grisham will make the catch. Tagging is Sanchez, and he scores. It's a sac fly for Mitchell, and it's 2-1 Yanks.
Well, if he could leave it right here, bases loaded, nobody out, and get out of it with 1 run, that's a big inning for Carlos Rodon. You look at Perkins' numbers, they're not very good this year. However, he's .263 off of left-handers. He's 0 for 28 off of right-handers this year.
Strike to Perkins. And that one off the glove of Escara. When Rodon is missing today, he's really missing.
Most of his misses have been on the first base side, and this is a breaking ball that just never gets to where it's supposed to be, and that's a tough one for the catcher to catch, because you're expecting it down and in, and it's up and away and doesn't have the same break that you're expecting, and that's why you miss that ball.
Up the middle and through for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Rengifo. He'll score. Moving to second on the throw is Perkins. It's a 2-run single. And Milwaukee leads 3-2.
Yeah, they have 3 runs this inning, and it's the first hit they've had. They've had a number of walks that have aided them in this 3-run 4th inning, and it's a fastball that just gets too much of the plate. Out of the reach of Jazz Chisholm. Grisham probably should have just came up and threw it to second base. And now you have another runner in scoring position. And you probably got to start thinking about getting somebody up, as his pitch count is starting to get up there a little bit.
The sac fly by Mitchell was the first ball out of the infield. And then the hit by Perkins was the first base hit.
I mean, you have to be encouraged by his stuff. He lost the strike zone a little bit this inning, and that happened to Max in that 2nd inning where he lost it after he gave up a single. He walked the next 2. It led to a big inning for the Brewers. They're a club that walks a lot. They're patient. They grind you.
And we told you yesterday their motto is drag them. They want to drag the pitcher through long at bats and build up the pitch count and get on base and dink and dunk them. They're not gonna slug, but they will score runs.
Michael, they have all year long only 4 home runs off a left-handed pitcher. That is it. And that is near the bottom. Texas has 4 and San Diego has 2.
Ortiz, fly ball right field. Jones will put it away, and that'll do it. But Milwaukee takes the lead with 3 runs in the 4th. They're up 3-2. For the Home Depot working on a win pitching matchup. Well, Logan Henderson fell behind early. 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. Rodon gave up 3 runs in the 4th. 4 innings, 1 hit, 3 runs. He's walked 4. Spencer Jones against Henderson. A matchup of the 6th best prospect for each team.
So would you say round 1 went to Spencer Jones?
Yes, it did. With an RBI single, his first major league hit. One and one. His helmet almost flew off. Count 1-2.
Yeah, it's hard to hit if the helmet's covering your eyes. As you see, it go down there. It's just a hard swing, and he's got some lift to it.
And he goes down on strikes. Let's take a look at his first major league hit. The exit velocity presented by Spectrum. Hit it hard, 106.4. Traveled 225 feet. It was a single and a ribby.
He almost hit it too hard where Caballero couldn't score.
Here's J.C. Escara. 0-2.
Yeah, that's a really good deviation between his two pitches. The fastball 92, 93, and that changeup's 80. That's a lot. It's usually about 8 to 10 miles an hour. That's 12, sometimes 13. That's why it's so effective.
One, two on JC. Count levels. Yankees have 4 hits and Milwaukee with 1, but Milwaukee leads 3-2. DL Hall warming. And Sanchez wants to talk with Henderson.
DL Hall threw an inning last night. He had a walk and a strikeout. He walked the first left-handed hitter he saw last night, but then ended up having a scoreless inning. They have 4 left-handers down in the bullpen, and they're all pretty good. Probably don't have 2 of them today. They probably don't have Ashby or Drowan, but they still got Fitzpatrick and Hall down there. And they have not used 2 of their back inning guys in Uribe and McGill, so they have a lot of innings down there in the bullpen, and they're off tomorrow.
San Diego will start a series here in Milwaukee on Tuesday. Yankees, after the game, fly to Baltimore, and they begin a 3-game set against the Orioles tomorrow night. Then the Yankees are off on Thursday. 2-2. Struck him out.
They call that the Logan leg kick, that finish when he strikes a hitter out. When he gets that leg, that right leg swings around and goes up in the air. They call it the Logan leg kick. We're going to take a look at it here. There it is.
There have been a lot of strikeouts for the Yankees this weekend. 14 Friday, 15 in 10 innings yesterday, 5 so far today. Trent Grisham jumps on the first pitch. Mitchell is there in dead center and puts it away for the final out. 9 Yankees retired straight. It's time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. Here's June and family. Yankee Stadium is their happy place, and they all want to say Happy Mother's Day to Mom, Denise. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and mention yes in pictures you post to social media. Reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. Oh and 1 on Chourio, leading off the bottom of the 5th. Top of the order for Milwaukee.
Seems like he's had a hard time on the first base side of home plate locating his fastball.
In the hole, Caballero sets and fires. Got him.
Well, that's a really good play, and it happens because his transfer, and he gets the ball in the air so quickly. Chourio can really run, and watch how quickly he gets rid of this ball with everything he's got on it and makes a good throw to Ben Rice. He was expecting the ball to be hit up the middle by the location signal, but it's pulled to his right. He gets to it. Carlos appreciates it. That is a wow. That is a really good play. Only 2 stripes again today.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It must have to do with, like, indoors.
I didn't get a chance to see him today. I wanted to ask him. He's gone away from the 3 stripes. Up the middle and through for a base hit for Terrain. Now, Meredith, you did catch him today. What'd he say?
Well, Michael, I actually caught up with him last night after the game, and he just looked at me and said, it didn't work last night. It wasn't working. I said, so do you go with nothing tomorrow? He said, no, I can't do that. I'll be back with the same thing tomorrow.
But did he give the reason why he dropped from 3 to 2?
He did not give that reason, but I'm happy to find that out for you after the game.
Thank you.
Investigative report coming your way.
It's important. Milwaukee and the Yankees tied as a team with 39 bases. Miami leads Major League Baseball with 44. Cleveland, Washington, and Tampa all have 40. Durang has 8 stolen bases.
Yeah, Contreras is a guy that walked in the 3rd to start the inning. That from lefties, you want to use your breaking ball on him. He's a really good fastball hitter, and he's a good changeup hitter. So Carlos really hasn't pulled his curveball out today very much. It's been slider, fastball, 4-seamer, and he's in danger of walking him again.
And that's 5 walks and a hit by pitch by Rodon. Durang moves to second, first and second, 1 man out. And here comes Boone. So it's 78 pitches. That's going to do it for Rodon. Yankees trail by 1. Rodon and his season debut leaving here in the 5th. Time to name that Yankee. Brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. 568 games, 533 innings, a 4.04 ERA. Now you have your hands up in the air, Joe, so you know it.
Do you know it?
I think I do. I think, yeah, I think you're right. That's the one I thought.
Yeah.
That
one. I think it's that one, yeah.
Yeah. Jake Bird comes on and deals to Sanchez.
Definitely been better lately. If you look at his last 4 outings, he has not given up a run, and he's only given up 1 hit in 3 1/3 innings. His breaking ball is his big pitch, and he's going to have to use it against Sanchez.
Two and two.
This is called a strike. The batter is challenging.
Oh, I think he's going to lose this one, Mike.
Gary Sanchez is challenging.
Call is confirmed. Milwaukee has 1 challenge remaining.
And what happens is when you throw a couple fastballs in, the outside part of the plate looks further for a hitter. And he didn't realize that's still on the outside corner, but he had made him uncomfortable inside, and you're not looking out there as much.
And once again, we'll remind you on the score bug to the left of the team logo, another challenge. And the Scar is going to challenge this.
Ball, the catcher's challenging.
See, the Yankees have 2 challenges left, those 2 dashes. Milwaukee 1. And Scar wins it, and Sanchez down.
New York has 2 challenges remaining.
ABS not kind to Gary Sanchez in that at bat.
That's a perfect pitch. It looked like it started off the plate, came back a little bit, and it looked like they're trying to go in again. I don't understand why they're trying to go in so much, because I think in tough situations, it's hard to pitch the ball in for strikes. You're either going to go way in or you're going to make a mistake out of the middle because your focus is, I don't want to make a mistake middle in.
Oh, strike.
You know, I figured out, I think, why Coney likes Jake Bird so much.
Why is that?
His slider is kind of like Coney's drop down slider.
The Laredo?
Yeah, it's got that flat, a lot of break. And his arm angle is lower.
Swing and a miss. Nice performance there by Bird to get out of trouble. Stranding 2. We go to the 6th. Milwaukee up by 1. We'll go around the majors. Logan Webb placed on the 15-day IL with a right knee. Things not going well for the Giants. Connor Griffin, last 15 games for the kid. 352, 6 extra base hits, 10 ribbies. And Spencer Strider, 6 innings pitched, no runs, 8 strikeouts in last night's win at the Dodgers. Atlanta playing great baseball. New pitcher for Milwaukee, it's DL Hall.
Yeah, it's been really good. The last 6 games, 8 1/3 innings pitched, only 1 hit, no runs, 9 Ks, but the walk is always a possibility. 4.
And Rice hits it the other way, foul. Rice is 0 for 2. He's 0 for 11 since the hand injury.
I'm just going to tell you, though, he's hit 2 balls hard today. He looks a lot better than he did the first 2 days.
Blackburn getting ready for the Yanks. One and 2 on Ben Rice. Rice, Judge, and Bellinger here in the 6th.
You know, their lefties have been really, really good in this series. DJ Hall threw an inning yesterday, no runs. Ashby threw 2 innings, didn't give up any earned runs. Drowan threw 3 innings the first night, didn't give up any runs, and they still have another one down there.
Grounded sharply to second. Turang. 1 down.
And I think against lefties, Michael, I think that's where Stanton really shows up, how they miss him. He just makes the lineup so much deeper.
Here's Aaron Judge. 7th first inning home run of the year in the first, obviously. And then he struck out in the 3rd against Henderson. So Henderson gives a lead to the bullpen. 2-0.
I love when he does that. After the catcher catches the ball, he takes a practice swing in the box. It's delayed. I think it's hilarious.
Fill me in why.
I find it odd. You know, most guys step out, but he doesn't really leave the box very much, and maybe that's why he does it. And I'm sure it's something that he wants to feel.
Three and one. And there's ball 4. So Judge works a walk, and that'll bring up Bellinger. Judge the tying run at first base. Tomorrow, the Yankees will be at Camden Yards in Baltimore for a rematch with the Orioles. Extended coverage starts at 4:30 with 2 full hours of pregame leading up to first pitch at 6:35. It's on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Ryan Weathers back on the mound for the Yanks tomorrow. Judge goes. The throw to second. Got him.
You know, he had a really good jump. He went on the first movement, and I didn't even think Gary Sanchez got out of his crouch very quickly. He didn't have a very big lead. Sanchez came up and threw a missile. He's always had a great arm. I mean, watch. I mean, that's slow getting up, but the accuracy and the arm strength makes up for it. And that's a caught stealing. The Yankees have been caught twice in this series. Bellinger yesterday, and now Judge today.
Almost seemed like Sanchez stumbled.
Yeah.
As he was getting up and still made the throw.
It was like maybe he didn't hear someone yelling going. You know, a lot of times on the bench you'll yell going, especially with a left-handed hitter. You're blocked out. Boy, he just makes a really accurate throw.
The 0-1. 1-1. Judge caught stealing 2-6. Ortiz with the catch in the tag. Back to the screen, 2-2. Just missed off the outside corner. The count is full. Bellinger walked in the first, popped to short in the third.
He walked off of DL Hall yesterday to start the 7th inning.
And Sanchez wants to talk with his left-hander.
I was never a big fan of going out 3-2. And obviously there was a disagreement on what should be called in this situation. And I think Gary's probably thinking of what pitch can he throw for a strike, and Hall's probably thinking what's the best pitch to get him out.
Hey, congratulations to Cody Bellinger on being voted the Montefiore Einstein Player of the Week, hitting .433, 8 extra base hits, 12 ribbies, and OPS of 1.400.
Who was he against last week?
Grisham and Judge.
Ooh, it's pretty good outfield that week.
3-2, and he walked him. So whatever they came to an agreement on was not right.
Neither one of them are right.
So here's Jazz Chisholm Jr., 1 for 9 in this series, and Jazz still has not found his footing consistently. Hitting .203 with 4 home runs and 13 runs batted in. His on-base percentage is .286.
Yeah, his front hip has been really quick again, to where it looks like he's trying to pull the baseball instead of letting it get to him and pulling him that way.
When you look up and you see Jazz Chisholm Jr. slugging .322, just has not found it. That one is driven to right field and deep, and that ball is going to be one hop up against the wall. Bellinger rounding third. He's coming home, and he will make it. It's an RBI double for Jazz Chisholm, and the game is tied at 3.
Well, after a walk, he hangs him a breaking ball, and Jazz is able to pull it into the right field corner. You're going to see hanging breaking ball. He pulls it in the corner. The Yankees are lucky this doesn't bounce over the fence. It hits near the top, Perkins picks it up, and the big thing is Cody got a great jump. He's running hard all the way, expecting to score on this. That's the key. And Perkins misses the cutoff man. He misses Terang, and that's why they were able to score. If he hits the cutoff man, I believe they have a shot at getting belly. He tries to get rid of it quick, but he misses the cutoff man, and he's able to score.
So maybe that's the hit that gets Chisholm going. Picks up his 14th ribby, a big double for him. And Chris Hook comes out to talk with Hall.
You think he tells him, if you don't get this guy out,
I'm going to last name you?
The manager's going to tell me to give him the hook?
So the Yankee walks in this series, Joe. On Friday they got 2, no runs. Saturday they had 7 walks, no runs. And today 3, and they finally get a run. Bellinger scores.
You're saying the guy that walks is scoring?
Right.
Yeah, okay. But sometimes that walk sets up, may get the guy in scoring position. But yeah, I mean, this is a strikeout staff, and that's what we've seen a lot of from the Milwaukee Brewers. In the first 2 games, they struck out 29 of their 64 outs were strikeouts.
Grant Anderson getting ready. Here's McMahon. Ground ball and grabbed by Rengifo. And that'll do it. But the Yankees tie the score. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 man left. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th. The Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. And by Optimum Fiber, famously fast fiber internet. Milwaukee against New York. Paul Blackburn against Milwaukee. 3rd Yankee pitcher. Bird got out of the 5th inning, relieving Rodon. Rodon off the hook now for the loss. It's 3-3. As we go to the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, last pitch Thursday, he started that game in which Weathers was supposed to start, but because of the flu, he didn't. He went an inning, didn't give up a run, didn't give up a hit. Not a strikeout guy, a contact guy against a contact club.
Quickly 0-2 on Rengifo. Blackburn deals. 1-2. Now the hard throwing McGill getting ready. Yankees have not seen him yet in this series. Haven't seen Uribe either.
Both of them got off to slow starts. McGill actually lost his closer's job because I think gave up 8 runs in the first 6 games. But he's been really good since then.
Backing up is McMahon. Fires to first, and the throw gets by Ben Rice. So Rengifo will reach. Once he backed up, it became a very difficult play.
Yeah, because of the speed, Michael. And he backs up here, and he's just not able. He probably had to try to come get the short hop, but obviously it's a read that you make as a player, and he thought that was probably his best chance to back up. And the speed again helps the Milwaukee Brewers. Got to watch for the bunt here. It's something they do a lot of.
Mitchell with a sac fly in the 4th, picked up his 22nd ribby. It's already a career high. Only 103 at bats. Fouled away.
He like Grisham has been really effective in the hits that he's got. Have driven in a lot of runs.
Take a look at the Yankee bullpen budget brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. They used a lot of pitchers yesterday. I would say They probably want to stay away from Hedrick. Everybody else would be available. One and one on Mitchell. Fernando Cruz got the loss yesterday, warming up today. Makes the seats out of play. Aaron Boone has to figure out how to get through these innings. Strike three. Mitchell down looking. One away.
And he's got 2 Ks and a slack, and it takes a ball right down the middle. And that's why I'm saying, like, you wonder if he sits on pitches, and if he guesses wrong, he doesn't swing.
Now here's the pinch hitter, Sal Frelick. Pinch hitting for Perkins, who had a 2-run single the last time up. If you wonder why Frelick didn't get the start against Rodon, 3 for 34 against lefty pitching this year.
Yeah, and when you look at Perkins, he's done a good job, but why is he out as a switch hitter? Well, he's 0 for 28 off of right-handers. I find it funny that fans boo when you throw over to first base. What are you supposed to do?
Well,
just let him go?
They're saying it's a ball. He does go. And he's safe.
Yeah, they might take a look at this, Michael. And JC's ball was on the third base side of the bag. Had it been over the bag, he's out for sure. Getting rid of it is important. But accuracy is really important, as we saw from Gary Sanchez his last throw. And this is really a close play. If the ball is just in front of Caballero, he's out. See how close this is?
Three 3-0 on the pinch hitter, Sal Frelick. And there's ball 4. So they walk Frelick. First and second, 1 out. And that brings up Joey Ortiz.
And that brings out Matt Blake. Probably try to get him back on track here. I mean, it's not a pinch hitter, so you don't really need to talk about the plan.
So the roof here at American Family Field has not been open all year. And they've got kind of an unofficial rule. It's got to be over 68 degrees. Yesterday was a beautiful day. Today's a beautiful day. But I don't understand one thing, Joe. There's a little chill in the air. But they don't have the roof open, but they have the windows in the outfield open. So you can feel the chill in the air. It's coming in.
Well, it's called an open air dome, Michael, is what it is. Yeah,
but if you're going to open that, just open the roof.
I agree. And maybe it's the shadows. Maybe it's they ask the starting pitcher on a situation like, but you're right. If the windows are open, it's
open.
It's 55 in here.
Yes. Here's Joey Ortiz, first and second. One man out, bottom of the 6th. Pickoff is on, and he throws it into center field. But staying put is Rengifo, as Grisham gets the ball and flips it in.
You're always taught on a pickoff as the base runner to look to the outfield or the opposite place of where the ball came from to see if it gets by. He didn't pick it up, so he stayed on the ground, and had he got up right away, he probably could have got to third base.
Seemed like Blackburn threw the ball right over the bag. There was just nobody there in time.
Well, that's an issue. That's bad timing.
Yep. And that's going to be challenged by Escara.
It's called ball. The catch is challenging.
I thought he was a low ball ump, Michael.
Escara got it right again.
New York has 2 challenges remaining.
That's pretty good right there. 80%.
You did not cut any of those math classes in the Northwestern, did you?
I love math. How do you think I got to be Binder Joe? That wasn't an accident. It was the paper writing that I didn't enjoy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The 0-2.
So I could interpret the numbers. I just couldn't write about them.
Understood.
Yeah. That's where you come in.
Yeah. Makes us a team. One, two. Still 1-2. Grounded, third. McMahon steps on the bag, fires across the diamond, and Rice keeps it in front of him, but could not come up with the scoop, keeping his foot on the bag. So 2 away.
Yeah, he does everything he can to turn this double play. I like that he went to third, and Rice does the smart thing. He's got to keep it in front, and he probably could have blocked it. It would have been the other way, and it would have deadened it more.
Well, Boone's going to go to the bullpen with Chourio coming up. Well, we call this segment, well, let's listen to Mel.
How about that?
It's about Jackson Chourio. Signed an 8-year, $82 million deal before his Major League debut. Largest ever for a player with 0 days of Major League service time. Now, in 2024, became the youngest player in Major League history to record a 2020 season at just 20 years, 185 days old. And his favorite home-cooked meal is Venezuelan arepas, especially with cheese and egg.
You had an arepa?
No.
Oh, they're really good.
Fernando Cruz comes on to face Jackson Chourio. 1-0.
You know, I was looking up some numbers on Fernando, thinking, like, I don't feel like we've seen as many split fingers this year, that he's tried to use his slider more and his four-seamer more. He's thrown his split finger 6% time less, and his four-seamer 11% more. And the four-seamer seems to be getting him in trouble because it's getting him behind.
But I think he's going to the four-seamer to get ahead.
Yeah, and
because he doesn't throw the splitter for a strike. So it's kind of a conundrum.
yes.
And just like that, it's 3-0.
hitters this year on his four-seamer hitting 389, and last year they hit 103, and I think it's because he used it so little it surprised a lot of guys. There were a lot of takes. They were like, ooh, because he threw so many splits.
Fly ball, shallow right. Spencer Jones puts it away, and Cruz works out of trouble. No runs a hit, 2 men left. We go to the 7th, tied at 3. Time to find out who this is. Name that Yankee. Here are the clues. I think it might be Graham Lloyd.
I think you're right.
Let's see.
Yeah,
The big Australian.
you're usually right.
He was very valuable for the Yanks. That's on trade day. And he got some big outs. Edmonds goes down. Klesko goes down. He's trying to have Benitez go down.
You know, they say that fight really erupted because Nelson and Graham Lloyd were running in as they got close to the third base line. One of them ran into each other and they thought someone pushed.
Oh.
Yeah, him and Nelly.
Won 2 championships with the Yankees. Didn't allow a run in 13 postseason games. Pretty good. And traded with Homer Bush and David Wells for Roger Clemens in '99. Trevor McGill takes over here in the 7th. Ford scoreboard 3-3. Caballero leads off, and there's a strike.
Was their closer last year and did a really good job, but he got off to such a bad start. I mean, the first 6 games, I said 8 runs. The last 8 games, 1 run. He's back on track.
Tries a push bunt up in the air, and it's fielded by McGill as Vaughn got out of the way.
You know, people so many times ask, why don't teams bunt more? With the velocity and the elevated fastball, that's what happens when you try to bunt. It's really, really hard. He tried to push it past him towards the second baseman, and it's just really hard to do.
Last 8 games for McGill, he has a 1.13 ERA. Velocity still down a couple of ticks from 99 to 97. All-Star last year, and he took over as closer when Devin Williams was traded to the Yankees. Spencer Jones grounds it to short. 2 away. Cooking up something special with Hexclad. Join the hybrid revolution at hexclad.com. Anthony Volpe in May hitting 161. He hit 303 in April. George Lombard in the minors this season, 29 games, 4 homers, 10 ribbies, 278 average. And Marco Luciano promoted from AA Somerset to AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre on Friday. You notice how fast Spencer Jones got down the line? He's got speed. Here's J.C. Escarra against McGill. 1-0.
Yeah, and he just takes long strides, and it doesn't necessarily look like he's running fast, but he's a lot faster than you think.
Two 2-0. Escarra 0 for 2, popped a short, struck out.
You get 2 quick outs on 3 pitches, and you go 3-0 on the next hitter.
Three and 1. And he walked him. 2-out walk. Back to the top of the order, and Trent Grisham.
Yeah, I'm sure Pat Murphy's idea in this game, if the score stays the same, is to try to get 9 outs from McGill and Uribe. And it looked like McGill was going to have a really quick inning after getting 2 outs on 3 pitches. Now he's up to 8. He still hasn't thrown a lot. But if you could put some long at bats on him before you make 3 outs here, you could put a wrench in his plans.
Oh and 1 on Grisham. Grisham 1 for 3. One and 1. Two and 1. Vaughn holds the scar at first.
Yeah, he's only a 2-pitch guy, Michael. That knuckle curve and the hard fastball. And, you know, it's amazing when you lose a couple miles an hour off your fastball how you get hit that much harder, and that's what's happened to him. You were right. He was averaging 99 last year. I mean, that was his average. He's touched 100 for sure.
Did he go? Yes, he did. And he is down on strikes. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base at the end of 6.5 innings of play. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees and Milwaukee are tied at 3, but we're going to stay right here as we honor America in Wisconsin.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of God Bless America, led by Bob Kozlowski from Brewers Guest Services.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Tie 3-5-1 Yanks, 3-2-0 for Milwaukee. Rodon, they were just talking about him. 4 1/3 in his season debut. Aaron Judge, first inning home run, 7th time this year. Logan Henderson won 5, and Blake Perkins, a big hit, picked up a 2-run single. Ford scoreboard, bottom of the 7th inning, 3-3. Cruz still in there, and he deals to Turang inside, 1-0.
Michael, these last 2 games are kind of what you expected from
The catcher's challenging.
a little challenge here.
Challenged by J.C. Escar. Let's see if he continued. Nope, missed that one.
The call's confirmed. New York has 1 challenge remaining.
As I was saying, kind of what you expected games like this, with the Yankees offense being 2nd in runs scored, Milwaukee's pitching 5th, and then on the other side, the Yankees pitching 1st and Milwaukee 6th in scoring runs. 2 really good games, these last 2.
2-0 on Turang. You want to keep him off base. He has 8 stolen bases. He's 1 for 2 today with a sac bunt. And a strike.
Coming into today, in the last 9 games, he had been on base 21 of 42 times and was 1 for 9 against the Yankees. so he was not getting on base.
2-2.
Fernando's shoes look like that's Father's Day shoes.
They've got that hue to it. Down the right field line, it is foul. Just foul.
Yeah, we can't see from where we are where it lands. You got to watch the umpire.
Five pitches so far, 2-2 count. Cruz has thrown 10 since coming in. 5 strikes. Now 6 as Terang goes down swinging.
Michael, there's that pitch. We've been looking for that. Really good split finger here. Starts as a strike, and stays a strike. That's the one he needs to throw to get ahead and then expand in the zone with it.
Here's William Contreras. Punched into right field. That's going to dunk in for a base hit. So Contreras walked twice and struck out. Now picks up a single here in the 7th.
Leads their team in hits, RBIs. Doesn't get much of this, but I tell you what, this is a club that we've seen it these last 3 days. They don't swing and miss a lot. They put the ball in play. There's a number of weak contact hits, but it works for this club.
So quickly 0-2.
When he was young, he was one of the best right on right hitters versus changeups. He crushed them. And I know the split's a little bit different, but he's got to make sure he gets this split down to him.
That was down.
What are you calling the pitches up here? You got pitch calm or something? I mean, that was a ball 30 feet away.
No challenge on that. ABS didn't have to get involved. Swing and a miss on the splitter. 2-way.
Yeah, another really good one. He's able to get ahead, and then you can expand, and then it was a strike most of the way, and then the late dip on it gets Gary Sanchez to swing way over the top on it.
No contact day for Gary. 3 strikeouts and a walk. Here's Vaughn.
Yeah, that's a pitch that he's used a lot more too, his slider this year. He's gotten some first pitch strikes on it. I feel like he's more comfortable throwing that for a first pitch strike than his fastball.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Said Trip Gibson, 0-2.
Oh,
he went.
Sure, yeah.
He fouled the splitter off. Win the bottom of the 7th inning, 3-3. Yankees trying to grab one of these 3 games. With the loss yesterday, a streak of 6 straight series victories ended. Yankees are 9-3-1 in their 13th series this season. Swing and a miss. There's that pitch. 3 strikeouts for Fernando Cruz. We'll go to the 8th, tied at 3. Well, come out to Yankee Stadium on Thursday, May 21st, when the Yankees take on the Blue Jays in a postseason rematch. It's cap night. First 18,000 guests 21 and older receive a Yankees cap courtesy of Budweiser. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today at Yankees.com. Fernando Cruz with 3 strikeouts in the bottom of the 7th, still pumped up. How about Aaron Ashby? 2 innings yesterday. They bring him right back out today. And he has 7 wins to lead the majors out of the bullpen.
Well, I was telling you yesterday they call him everyday Aaron, but I'm a little shocked to see him here. I know he only threw 27 pitches, but it's the up and down. But again, they are off Monday and pushing him a little bit.
Oh, and 2. You
got to turn the page. You swung at that bad breaking ball, but the bat is not over. Ben Rice has been really good against left-handers. He's one of the best left-handed relievers in baseball, though.
Swing and a miss. Ben 0 for 13 since the injury.
Look at this left-on-left changeup and the dive that this ball has. I mean, he had thrown him a bunch of breaking balls yesterday in fastball. Today he throws him a changeup, the first one he's seen in the couple of bats that gets him, and he gets him way out front.
So Ashby with 7 wins through 37 team games. That ties a major league record. Here's Judge. Grounded foul. Jim Ray did it in 1972 with the Astros. Mike Marshall in 1979 with the Twins. And Tyler Clippard did it in 2010 with the Nationals.
Tyler Clippard.
And we told you yesterday the record for wins in a season by a reliever belongs to Roy Face, who won 18-1 with the Pirates in 1959. So Pat Murphy says that Ashby's a super valuable guy and he loves to throw. I guess so. Three and 1 on Judge. Judge with a home run in the first, strikeout in the third, a walk in the sixth, and he was also caught stealing.
Michael, this is Milwaukee's 38th game. He's already thrown 25 in the third innings. That's on pace to be well over 100. I mean, he was a starter early in his career. He couldn't throw enough strikes, so they moved him to the bullpen, and boy, has it been good for him.
27 years old, 5th big league season. The payoff. Strike 3. Judge down looking.
Yeah, a little front hip sinker that got him, that just froze him inside. Probably thought it was going to be a back foot slider, and you can see the movement. And it's still 99. 99 all day yesterday, 99 today. And righties have less success than lefties off of it.
Has a 35.8% strikeout rate. And that's gone up with the first 2 batters.
Telling you, Michael, if you ask major league hitters to rate the best sinker in baseball, I think it would be his.
One and one on Bellinger. He's walked twice, sandwiching those walks around to pop up the short. One and two. Two and two on Bellinger. Looped into right center field. That's going to dunk in there for a base hit.
He's incredible. He is hard to strike out. He's a bad ball hitter. He finds ways to get hits on balls that are way below the zone. You see him sink into his legs so he doesn't go forward. He had a decent at bat off of Ashby last night where he flew out to left field. Maybe he can steal a base and Jazz can come up with another base hit.
Jazz's double scored Bellinger in the 6th. And a strike. This lineup, a lot of lanes to bring in a lefty. You have Rice and Judge, but Bellinger, Chisholm, and McMahon all in a row. 3 lefties. Quickly 0-2 on Jazz Chisholm.
As I said, coming into this game, lefties were hitting 263. Righties were only hitting 151.
Crowd thought that was strike 3.
I think Ashby did too. He started to walk towards the dugout after he did his pirouette. You see him do the pirouette. It's off the plate a little bit. I'm going to the dugout. No, I don't think so. Ooh.
Now he could go to the dugout. He strikes out 3 Yankees. No runs a hit. 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 3-3 here on Yes. Well, Tuesday on Yes, host Gracie Cashman sits down with the Yankees legend Willie Randolph for a deep dive into the numbers that defined his career. Watch the season 3 premiere of The Story of My Number, presented by the New York Lottery, Tuesday, following Yankees coverage on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Tim Hill takes over. And he will face Rengifo, Mitchell, and Frelick. So we did a deep dive about Hill's throw to third yesterday, and he knew how many outs there were. He said he just made a mistake. He just felt that he had the play at third base. Now one served into right field, a base hit for Rengifo.
Yeah, he said his internal clock told him to go to third base, that he had time, and you know, and it's sometimes like. It's hard. Guys are going to make bad reads, and that's the bottom line. I don't think his thinking was necessarily off. I think you take the easy out. He ends up serving up this hit. You don't see a lot of balls hit like that off of him.
So Hamilton pinch runs for Rengifo. And Mitchell shows bunt, takes a strike. What surprised me in talking to Aaron Boone, Joe, he said, after Max Fried, I trust Tim Hill fielding with any other pitcher. more than any other pitcher. He
Yeah,
said the only one that's better is Fried.
And I think that's why it was unusual for him to do that. It's just a bad read. And here's the play yesterday, and it's 1 out, first and second, and a ball it's tapped to him, and he goes to third instead of taking the out, which loaded the base is for Contreras. And I know it's a lot to think about, but my thinking was I would rather face the lefty Bowers instead of Contreras. You probably were going to maybe possibly walk Contreras.
He did say, Joe, that if they got an out, even if the out was at third, there was going to be a base open. He was going to walk Contreras and go against Bowers.
Yeah.
But once you loaded the bases, you lost that option.
Take the easy out.
This should be 2. There's 1. And there's 2. A bullet by Mitchell, but right there was Caballero.
Yeah, interesting that they pinch ran for Renfroe when it's Tim Hill's hard to run on. And I know you're thinking about a double in the gap, but you lose him, and now Hamilton will probably go to third base.
Frelick, ground ball to second. So Tim Hill with a scoreless 8th inning, and we go to the 9th, knotted at 3. Games on Yes are streaming live on the Gotham Sports app, included for free with your eligible TV provider subscription. Download and sign into the Gotham Sports app now and check out all the great Yankees content, including game highlights, post-game sound, and Jack Curry's News and Views podcast. Abner Uribe will take over.
Another hard thrower, sinker baller Michael, different than McGill. He's a 4-seam guy. Hamilton goes to third base. Since he took over the closer's role 8 games ago, he's had a 2.57 ERA, 3 for 3 in save opportunities. But since last season, minimum of 60 innings pitches, he's third in the NL in ERA at 2.03.
McMahon will lead it off here in the 9th. 3-3 game. 100 miles an hour. So in 7 games, he had a 5.68 ERA. But McGill also struggled. But since taking over as closer, 8 games, 2.57, 3 for 3 in save opportunities. This is obviously not a save opportunity. They want to keep it tied, try to win in the bottom of the 9th.
The interesting thing about this year is in his career, he's been like 53% ground ball rate because of his sinker. This year only about 38, so guys have found a way to get the ball in the air off of him. Maybe it doesn't quite have the sink that it used to.
One and 2. Bednar getting ready. And down goes McMahon.
Yeah, to complement that sinker, he's got that really good slider that has a lot of horizontal break, and that has some depth to it. It's a pretty good pitch that he makes. Starts on the outside corner, ends up middle in. 3 guys out of their bullpen today have touched at least 99.
10 Yankees have struck out. Here's Caballero. 1-0. Caballero a double, and he scored in the 2nd. Grounded to third and tried to push bunt, and was caught by the pitcher McGill in the 7th. It's bullpens the way they are now. which makes me marvel even more at what guys like Judge and Ohtani are doing. Taking nothing away from the guys from the past, but they faced the same pitcher 4 times in the game. There weren't relief pitchers that threw 100 miles an hour, and one after the other after the other. There's no let up. I mean, if you were in the bullpen back in the 40s and the 50s, you were a failed starter. Now these guys are actually raised to be relief pitchers. And Caballero's going to challenge that when he dropped the bat, was taking off his shin guard. Let's see if he's right. He's right.
Call's overturned. Batter's awarded first base.
Well, they get their best base stealer on against Uribe, and Uribe's not a guy that gives up a ton of hits. This ball's clearly low. You see the sink, 100-mile-an-hour sinker. Really, really good take. And the thing that Uribe's done over the 4 years that he's been is he's really harnessed his command. I mean, the first year he's up here, he walked 20 guys in 32 innings. The next year, 12 and 14. But he's figured it out now.
Here's Spencer Jones. Runner goes. Grounded foul over the Milwaukee dugout.
He's been aggressive on breaking balls. See, the first base hit is on a breaking ball. The next time up, the ground out was on a breaking ball. See, the family's really happy. Caballero scores. He was aggressive on that breaking ball as well.
Spencer Jones, his calling card is power.
So you're calling a shot, Michael?
A lot of home runs in the minors. He has the first hit out of the way. Now looking on his first home run. And 2.
And that's the big adjustment, I think, for players when they come up from the minor leagues. You think about the stuff that the Yankees have seen in 3 games. And I know this is a really good pitching staff, but you don't see that every day in the minor leagues. You have times where you don't have to face 100, or you don't have to face, you know, really good breaking balls. There's a respite at times. There isn't up here.
Left field coming on is Churio, and he makes the play. Boy, Uribe really milked that clock as Caballero was dancing off first. He held the ball to the 1 second mark.
And that might be something Spencer Jones is going to have to work on, not getting into the box and looking up until 9 seconds, because the way that he sits in his legs, that has to be really hard to stay there for that long, and Caballero was trying to time it and steal it, but he just couldn't.
I almost thought the play for Jones was to call timeout there.
I agree. Don't make eye contact until about 9 seconds. Don't do it at 13, 14, where he can hold the ball a long time. Makes it hard for Caballero to steal.
One on a scar. JC's 0 for 2 with a walk.
I think that's something worth talking about, Michael. When you look at the pitcher, when you got a base stealer on like Caballero, don't do it too soon.
Caballero goes, and right there, Ortiz, who's going to cover, perfect position, and that ends the inning. We go to the bottom of the ninth, 3-3. I'll get highlights, analysis, clubhouse interviews, and we'll hear from the manager, plus a look ahead to the series with the Orioles in Baltimore. That's all coming up on the W.B. Mason Yankees postgame. Well, the Yankees bring in Bednar. They've used 5 guys out of the bullpen. Carlos Rodon, in his first start of the year, pitched into the 5th. Bednar yesterday threw 12 pitches in the 9th. Yankees took the lead in the top of the 10th. Boone said he thought about having him come out and pitch the bottom of the 10th, but he doesn't want to get into that habit. Earlier in the week, he'd gone 5 outs, and he said by the end of the bottom of the 10th, he might have been up to 30 pitches, so he didn't want to go there, and he felt it was covered with Cruz and Hill.
Playoff baseball, I think he'll do it. Early in the year, I don't think you can ask your closer to get 6 outs. I think it's the right move. I know they ended up losing the game, but they shouldn't have lost the game the way. There should have been, you know, probably 3 outs in the 10th, and it should have played on. The thing about Bednar is he's facing 3 totally different hitters than he did yesterday. Yesterday, he got Vaughn, Frelick, and Mitchell. Scoreless inning.
And the pitch to Ortiz is fouled away. Yankees have 6 hits and 3 runs, and Milwaukee 4 hits and 3 runs. The 1-1.
Ortiz has had a hard time laying off breaking balls outside the zone, even away off the plate, if you can get ahead of him.
Did he go? Yep, he did. And Ortiz strikes out.
Good split below the zone. Split's got a lot of action on it. It's just really, really hard to lay off. He throws it so hard. Careful with the strike breaking ball to him, because that's the ball that he can pull and hit in the seats.
And Churio takes a strike. Crowd of 40,175 for this Mother's Day matinee. Largest crowd of the 3 games. Close to 120,000 fans for these 3 games.
They average about 28,000 a game. It's going to go up a little bit now because of these 3 games, but they were over 28,000 a game. Even with the windows open, Michael.
And down goes Churio. 2 away.
Made him sound like he was a boxer, Michael. Another good split finger. Boy, split finger's really good today. And the thing is, he's not using it until he gets to 2 strikes. About 4 miles off his fastball. Now you got Mr. On Base coming up.
Bryce Terang. Driven out to center field and deep. Grisham back, turning, looking. See ya! A walk-off home run for Terang. And Milwaukee beats the Yankees 4-3. It's a 3-game sweep for the Brewers.
Terang's a really, really good breaking ball hitter, and it looked like he sat on at first pitch, because a lot of times that's where Bednar throws his curveball, and he ends up hitting a walk-off homer, gets showered with the gum at home plate. What a year this kid's having, Michael.
That was his 6th home run. And his 23rd ribby.
Yeah, he's not quite sure that he has it. He's running hard, and then he sees it go over the fence, puts his hands up. You're going to see Contreras do his little bat flip. And Grisham looks like he might have a beat on it, but it just gets over the wall. 2 tough losses for the Yankees. They got to bounce back when they go to Baltimore.
Well, Turang, 1 home run in his last 17 games until that swing. Just cleared the wall. 6-0, 4-3, 4-3. Brewers sweep the Yankees. We'll come back, and then the post game after that.